Welcome to the lecture on Maxwell's equations and electromagnetic waves. In this lecture, you are going to learn line integral, surface integral, volume integral, Gauss divergence theorem, Stokes theorem, Gauss law in electrostatics, Gauss law in magnetostatics. Line integral. So consider a linear path L from P to Q here in a vector field A. A dl represents a infinitesimally small length at a point m along the path pq in the field. Theta is the angle made by dl with the a. Then we have a dot dl is equal to, that is the dot product of vector a and elemental length dl is equal to a dl cos theta. So if you integrate the dot product ADL between P and Q, it becomes the line integral. So therefore, line integral of the path PQ is equal to integral from P to Q A into DL. So for the closed path, the integral is written as like this. The closed path line integral A vector A dot dl. So this sign indicates the closed contour integral. So this is also called the circulation of A around a closed path. So like this. Next the surface integral. So consider a surface of area S in a vector field A. Consider a small infinitesimal area ds on the surface around point M as shown in the figure. Consider AN is the unit vector normal to this particular ds at M. So then area vector ds is equal to ds into an. Ds represents the area of this one, that this an hat, that represents the direction. So if you take a dot ds, so it represents the flux of a vector field a through the surface ds. So a dot ds represents the flux of a in the surface ds. The flux of the field a through the entire surface is obtained by integrating a dot ds over the entire surface. So if you integrate that one over the entire surface, so that will give the total flux from that particular surface. If delta s, so here this symbol integral s, that is the symbol for used for the surface integral. For closed surface, the surface integral is given by psi is equal to c like this. So this is a closed integral a into d. Now the volume integral. Consider a volume charge distribution in which the charges are continuously distributed in this particular volume. Let V be the volume through which the charges are distributed. Consider an elementary volume dV here at M. Let rho V be the density of charges at M. So rho V is the charge density here and dV is the volume. So then the net charge in this particular small elemental volume of dV is given by rho V into dV. So because total charge in this volume is rho V into dV. Rho V is the charge density, dV is the volume. So that will give the total charge on this particular volume. So therefore the net charge in the volume, entire volume, is given by integral V rho V into dV. So this here, the integral V is the symbol for the volume integral. Gauss divergence theorem. So divergence theorem relates the surface integral with the volume integral. The statement of Gauss divergence theorem. The Gauss divergence theorem states that the integral of the normal component of the flux density over a closed surface of any shape in an electric field is equal to the volume integral of the divergence of the flux density throughout the space enclosed by the Gaussian surface. So mathematically it can be written as surface integral d dot ds equal to volume integral divergence of d into dv. Now we will prove the Gauss divergence theorem. So let us consider a volume V enclosed by a Gaussian surface S. Let the charge dq be enclosed by a small volume dv inside the Gaussian surface. If rho v is the density of charges and may vary inside the volume V, then the charge density associated with the volume dv is given by rho v is equal to dq by dv. So where dq is the charge enclosed by a small volume dv. So charge density is equal to dq by dv. Thus dq is equal to rho v into dv. Thus the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface is given by integrating q is equal to volume integral of dq. So that is equal to volume integral of rho v dv. From Maxwell's first equation, we know that rho v, that is the charge density, is equal to divergence of d, where d is the electric flux density. So substituting for rho v from the equation, we will get q is equal to volume integral of divergence of d into dv. So this is equation 1. According to Gauss law of electrostatics, we have q is equal to surface integral of d dot ds, where d is the electric flux density. Because according to Gauss law of electrostatics, the total flux enclosed by the Gaussian surface is equal to 1 by epsilon times the total charge enclosed by the surface. So psi is equal to q by epsilon naught, or since psi is equal to surface integral of E dot ds, so E dot ds, surface integral of E dot ds is equal to q by epsilon naught. But we know that the electric flux density D is equal to epsilon naught into E, where E is the electric field. So therefore, Q is equal to surface integral of D dot ds. So that is equation 2. Now from equation 1 and 2, so surface integral of D dot ds is equal to volume integral of divergence of D into dv. So this is the Gauss divergence theorem. The general statement of the Gauss divergence theorem is that the divergence theorem states that the integral of the normal component of a vector over a closed surface is equal to the integral of the divergence of the vector field throughout the volume enclosed by the surface. So this gives the normal component of the vector over the closed surface, and this gives the divergence of the vector field or integral of the divergence of the vector field throughout the volume enclosed by that particular surface. Now the Stokes theorem. Stokes theorem relates surface integral with the line integral. Statement: the surface integral of the curl of vector f throughout the chosen surface is equal to the circulation of the f around the boundary of the chosen surface. So here this represents the surface integral of curl of a vector f throughout the chosen surface S. So that is equal to the circulation of f around the boundary of the chosen surface. So that is the Stokes theorem. So let us discuss Maxwell's equations. So first Maxwell equation, which is nothing but the Gauss law in electrostatics. So it states that the total electric flux psi passing through a closed hypothetical surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the net charge enclosed by the surface. So this is the surface inside which there is a charges. The total charge will be equal to Q. So now the total electric flux is given by the surface integral of E dot ds. So that is equal to Q by epsilon naught. So the total electric flux psi is equal to surface integral E dot ds, that is equal to Q by or 1 by epsilon times the charge enclosed, that is nothing but the Q. But we know that d is equal to epsilon naught into E. So you bring this epsilon naught to this side, so this becomes a d. So therefore the surface integral d dot ds is equal to the total charge Q. So now that is because d is equal to epsilon naught E, which is called displacement vector per unit volume, or it is also called as the flux density. So now dividing by delta V, where delta V is the small volume inside this particular Gaussian surface. As the volume shrinks to 0, so limit delta V tends to 0, the surface integral d dot ds divided by delta V is equal to limit delta V tends to 0 Q by delta V. So now if rho V be the volume charge density, then limit delta V tends to 0 Q by delta V is nothing but the volume charge density. So volume charge density is defined by this particular equation. So by the definition of the divergence, we know that the limit delta V tends to 0 in surface integral d dot ds by delta V. So that is nothing but divergent of d. So that is del dot d. So substituting both these 2 and 3 in equation 1, we will get divergent of d is equal to rho v. So this is the differential form of the Maxwell's first equation. Now let us consider the Maxwell's second equation. That is nothing but the Gauss's law of magnetostatics. So consider a closed Gaussian surface of any shape in a magnetic field. So this is a magnet which produces the magnetic field. Let us consider a Gaussian surface here. So the magnetic field lines exist in a closed loops. Hence, for every flux line that enters the closed surface, a flux line emerges out elsewhere. For a closed surface in a magnetic field, the total inward flux is equal to the total outward flux. So net flux through the Gaussian surface is 0. So thus it could be written as, see, this is how we can write the surface integral B dot ds is equal to 0. As in the case of electrostatics, where the surface integral d dot ds is equal to total charge Q. So here it is equal to 0. So here B is the magnetic flux density. So applying the Gauss divergence theorem, so this is the relationship between the surface integral to the volume integral. So that is given by the surface integral of B dot ds is equal to volume integral of divergence of B into dV. But we know that this surface integral of B dot ds is equal to 0. So therefore this is also 0. So hence we can write the divergent of B is equal to 0. So this is the second of Maxwell's equation.